Misunderstanding doesn't arrive with a loud bang. It creeps in quietly. It grows through assumptions, through silence, through people deciding who you are without ever asking. This is a story about a man named Aaron. Aaron wasn't a loud person. He rarely explained himself because he didn't feel the need to. He believed that if his intentions were good, people would eventually see the truth. But life, as he learned, doesn't always work that way. At his job, his colleagues saw him as distant. To them, his quiet nature meant he was unfriendly. His focus was interpreted as arrogance. They didn't ask him any questions. They just drew their own conclusions. Aaron noticed the shift, the whispers, and the sideways glances, but he chose to stay silent, hoping his work would speak for itself. With his friends, the weight of being misunderstood felt even heavier. When he needed space to recharge, they thought he didn't care about them anymore. When he stayed calm during a heated discussion, they assumed he felt nothing, that he was detached. No one saw the immense effort it took for him to maintain his composure, the battles he fought internally to remain steady. You see, Aaron wasn't cold. He was thoughtful. He wasn't distant. He was just careful with his energy and words. But trying to explain all of that felt utterly exhausting. It felt like trying to justify his own existence. Over time, the misunderstandings started to pile up like snow in a storm. Small comments here, side looks there. Assumptions were repeated, so often they started to sound like facts. And slowly, insidiously, Aaron began to question himself. Maybe they were right. Maybe he was the problem. One night, he sat alone on his bed, the silence of the room pressing in on him. And for the first time, he allowed himself to ask a deeply painful question. Why do people never see the real me? In the days that followed, Aaron decided to change. He tried harder. He spoke more, smiled more, and tried to mold himself into the person he thought everyone wanted him to be. He became more outgoing, more expressive. But the misunderstandings didn't disappear. They just changed their shape. Now, people saw his efforts as inauthentic, his friendliness as an act. He was still trapped. One afternoon, feeling defeated, Aaron went for coffee with an older, wiser colleague. They talked about work, about life, and the silences between them felt comfortable, not awkward. After a while, Aaron gathered his courage and finally said it out loud. I feel like I'm misunderstood all the time. The man listened patiently, his gaze steady. He let the words hang in the air before he responded with something simple yet profound. Not everyone is meant to understand you, Aaron. Aaron looked up, surprised. The man continued, his voice calm. Some people can only understand the versions of you that make them feel comfortable, the versions that fit their own narratives. That doesn't make you wrong. It just makes them limited. That single sentence resonated deep within Aaron. It was like a key turning in a lock he didn't even know was there. That night, for the first time in a long time, he felt a sense of peace. He stopped trying to correct every opinion. He stopped feeling the need to explain every silence. He realized something incredibly important. Being misunderstood wasn't proof that he was failing. It was proof that he was finally, truly being himself. Aaron learned that clarity doesn't always come from words. Sometimes it comes from setting boundaries. He started choosing his own peace over the constant, draining chase for others' approval. He chose his own truth over their perception of him. And a funny thing happened. Some people drifted away. The ones who relied on their own easy assumptions couldn't handle the real, complex version of him. But others stayed. And the ones who stayed, the ones who truly mattered, never needed the explanations in the first place. They saw his heart. They felt his intention. Here's the lesson that many of us learn far too late in life. When people misunderstand you, it doesn't always mean you're being unclear. Sometimes it simply means they're not really listening. You don't owe everyone a guided tour of your inner world. And you certainly don't need anyone's permission to be who you are. If you're watching this right now and you feel unseen, unheard, or misunderstood, please remember Aaron's story. Remember that not everyone will get you, and that is not your failure. It's not a reflection of your worth. Sometimes being misunderstood is simply the price of being authentic in a world that often prefers conformity. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a like. It really helps our community grow and helps others who might need to hear this message find it.